Hey guys, Ranger here, and welcome back to another reaction and review. And this is to another Kingdom Hearts trailer, but this is to the Kingdom Hearts 3 trailer, new extended Monsters Inc. 2018 PS4, Xbox One, and it's on MK Ice and Fire's channel. And this again, it came out February 10th this year. So let's go ahead and begin. And also, I'm making in the thumbnail, so that's my kind of thing. So let us begin and see what we're in for. Let me adjust the volume a smidgen. I can turn it down a bit. Here we go. Okay, starting video in 3, 2, 1, click. Trailer presents a game currently in development. The final game will feature text and audio in the English language. Oh, this sounds beautiful. That's the Kingdom Hearts. Don't think twice.
How did I live in a kingdom of thieves and people who say things they don't really mean. Oh, you're only everything I ever dreamed of. You must be.
This is really beautiful.
Did you really think I could say no? I want you for a lifetime. So if you're gonna think twice, baby, I don't wanna know, baby. I don't wanna know.
Riku. Whoa, you look very different. Mickey. The Realm of Darkness.
このキーブレードはもう使えない。
Huh?
だからここに残していくよ。もう一人の俺のために。え?
The other you. Alright, I was watching this second trailer here. I wanted to make sure I didn't miss anything with that. Walk through trailers gameplays. Okay. Now, already we have the intro, which is the new Kingdom Hearts 3 theme song. We have the new Kingdom Hearts 3 theme song, which is Don't Think Twice, and I love it. I really do. I love it. It's interesting because right from the get-go here, my first time hearing it, it's the English voice actor or voice actress which is singing. I'm kind of used to hearing the Japanese version of the Kingdom Hearts. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I love the English version, but I'm kind of used to hearing the Japanese version of the Kingdom Hearts and Kingdom Hearts 2 themes because where I bought the Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 soundtrack, I've heard the Japanese version I don't know how many times. But with those, I'm used to it. So from here, I'm very curious, honestly, about what the Japanese version of this song sounds like. I really do. I love this song already, and I'm really looking forward to hearing the full version of it whenever the game does release. And I'm wondering too, like, I'm wondering if this is going to be the version that will play during the beginning of the game, during the opening, or if this is the version that may play at the ending. Because now this will have to be the beginning, because Kingdom Hearts. Okay, Kingdom Hearts, Simple and Clean. There were two versions of it. There was the faster, more upbeat, up-tempo version that played during the beginning of the game during the opening cinematic, and then there was a second, slower version that played during the ending whenever Destiny Islands was being restored. Kingdom Hearts 2 had a similar setup. You had Passion, which, you had the regular version which played during the beginning, and then you had a much slower version that played during the ending credits. And I'm wondering here if, like, this right here already sounds nice and smooth and soft. So I'm kind of wondering how the ending version of this will sound. Or if maybe there will be a sped up version, more up tempo version that will play during the beginning of the game, or if this right here will be the ending. I'm just going to go ahead and say that this is the track that will play during the beginning of the game. And again, I'm wondering what they will do with a second version of it with a remix during the ending. But again, I'm really wanting to hear the Japanese version of it right now. I mean, don't get me wrong, I mean, I love the English version here, but I'm also really curious as to what the Japanese one sounds like. Because for me, I love both the English and the Japanese audio or dubs for both of the Kingdom Hearts and Kingdom Hearts 2 soundtracks, or the main themes. I love both the English and Japanese versions. And so I really, now hearing the English version of this, I really want to hear the Japanese version. I really do want to hear the Japanese version of this track. But again, this particular track plays over some of the different things, over some footage that we have seen before with some of the other trailers. But there are a couple of things different that I didn't really notice before that I want to point out. First off, Sora does hear this unique attack that we saw here in the Tangled World. It's very interesting how this is done. It's got like Rapunzel's tower at the top. You've got the sun mark of Corona, I think it is, and then you got these flowers right here on the bottom. And at first I thought this was a Keyblade, but it's just an attack. But one thing that I did notice was, of course, Sora did have. Well, I'll touch upon that here whenever I get to that segment. But again, another thing that I want to talk about here briefly while I'm here is the layout design. I mean, basically the layout design, and every world is structured different. Every world is colored different. This right here is the Colosseum, obviously, and you have more of a rustic sort of old Athens feel for this, or old Greek feel for this. Structures for this looks more old, more rustic, more like they've been around for a long time. And there's softer, more darker colors and textures and tones on them to really give that impression, and it really does look good. Plus, this enemy here that Sora is fighting, again, I like the nice solid rock-like texture that this enemy has. It's not, bright and colorful like we've seen with Toy Story. This right here is like the polar opposite. It's darker, it's grittier, and very, very nice. Very, very nice appearance for that. Very nice. And again, right here we have Sora wielding a different Keyblade, which is based on the Toy Story world. And so obviously, I think I might have mentioned this before, but whether or not I have, I'm just going to mention it again, or for the first time. In Kingdom Hearts, with the basic formula with every single Kingdom Hearts game was there was different keys that you could get throughout the game, and pretty much every time you finished a world, you would get a key associated with that world. However, for the most part, every key had its strengths and weaknesses. For me personally, I basically stuck with the Kingdom Key in Kingdom Hearts until I got the Oblivion Key, and then I stuck with that until I got the Ultimate Weapon. And then in Kingdom Hearts 2, I basically stuck with the Kingdom Key up until I think I can't remember if you could get the Oblivion in Kingdom Hearts 2, but I know I stuck with pretty much the Kingdom Key up until I pretty much stuck with the Kingdom Key up until I got the Ultimate Weapon. But it was just traditional. Like it was just the most highlighted key. It was the default key, and so I just really liked the style. Plus, it seems like it pretty much, that's something I tested in Kingdom Hearts and Kingdom Hearts 2 was, it seemed like it automatically leveled itself up as you progress through the game. Even though it was a default key, it did seem like it kind of maybe that was just me, but it did seem like it automatically leveled itself up as you progress through the game. So if you didn't switch keys, it seemed like it would automatically balance itself to accommodate the other enemies that you would attack later on. so it wasn't like dealing very low damage. It seemed like it was dealing just fine for me. But again, I can already say I'm probably not going to be. I'm probably just going to stick with the basic Kingdom key until I find a key that like I really like. Otherwise, I'm just going to stick with the Kingdom key and probably won't be switching keys. But again, we have the younger Xehanort here. And judging by, I think this is in the toy store, in Toy Story World. But again, I really love this soundtrack. This is just beautiful. This is absolutely gorgeous. And another thing here to notice too is, I noticed it, is with this segment here with Mike walking towards you, I really like this sort of stationary camera and how it pans downward. And then the lighting effects, the color here, I really like it. It's a very nice touch. And then we have, of course, we have Daft Punk here. We have Daft Punk, and this is something I haven't seen yet. And here we see Sully picking up Mike. I'm just going to assume that Mike was walking towards Ventus and or Vanitas, and Sully had to pick Mike up to to avoid Mike doing something stupid. But again, I love the visual effects here. The shimmer on the helmet, on the lens, the lens flare, on the black on that. I really love that effect. And I'm not sure why he's picking this canister up, which holds, I think, screams, and he drops it. Don't know why he does that. And then we also see this other scene, of course, with Pete, Maleficent, and Hades. And this is obviously possibly in the underworld. No, not in the underworld, but I don't know if this could be in the Hercules world. But I'm not sure because there's an awful lot of greenery here. This could be outside of that. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see on that part. And again, of course, we see this segment here with Xehanort and Sora standing outside of the mansion in Twilight Town. And again, just look at the detail, the texture for the grass, the dirt, just the shadows and everything. This is really beautiful. And again, the visuals is honestly one of my favorite aspects already of Kingdom Hearts 3. Just the amazing visualization for the backgrounds, the landscapes, the textures. It's really gorgeous. It is honestly one of my favorite things. And of course, we see the younger. We see Ansem, or is Heartless, who's now dressed like a nobody, and Xehanort here. And again, I really love this new opening theme. I really do. And again, I'm really curious as to what the Japanese version sounds like. But the soundtrack cuts off, of course, and we see Xehanort. I'm sorry, we see Riku. And an interesting thing to note, and I don't know why, but it looks like Riku's blade, Soul Eater. It's like there's a broken part of it here on the end. It looks broken. It could be wrong, but it looks broken. And then we see Riku, and I have not seen this image of Riku, and boy, does Riku look different. Like, his hair is shorter, and he's wearing similar colors, like the dark blue and yellow. I mean, that was what he was wearing in Kingdom Hearts, the yellow and blue. And now here he is again wearing, yellow and blue, so apparently that's just kind of his similar, pretty much his standard color. But again, Riku looks so bad here. And Mickey! We get to see Mickey again! And again, I really, honestly, I love the design for Mickey. And again, it's not too realistic. I'll get a better shot of that, but... And then we see the Realm of Darkness. The Realm of Darkness, which has not been seen since Kingdom Hearts 2, really. We had... okay, no, we did see it in Birth by Sleep. But again, the Realm of Darkness. And... I'm curious about this segment here. Of course, I know I did see some other images of Mickey here too, possibly Riku before as well, but like this is supposed to be the Realm of Darkness. This is where Sora and Riku were whenever they sealed the door to darkness. No, whenever they defeated, this was where they went to after they defeated Xehanort. Sorry, Xemnas. This was where they went after they defeated Xemnas in Kingdom Hearts 2. They stepped through the door, and then they just... At first, we're just kind of content being here. And then the note from Kairi washed up on the shore. How it got there, I have no idea. Which is very interesting because you know, Kairi sent it off, and in Kingdom Hearts 2, and somehow it washed up on the shore here. So I'm wondering, how is that possible? You know, I mean, like, if this is Realm of Darkness, how did Kairi's note get there? And how big is Realm of Darkness? How far does it extend? But again, like, how did Riku and Mickey get here? And honestly, I like Riku's boots. I do. And Mickey is wearing a different outfit than he's wore in the other Kingdom Hearts titles. You know, it's a casual red, and there's some very nice buckles. You know, yellow and gray shoes, and he's wearing some shorts. Typical red for Mickey, which is cool. But he also has this nice little short sleeve hoodie, which is cute. And there appears to be some pouches. Wait a minute. No, that's... crap. I thought that was pouches. Honestly, I thought that was pouches on the back of his hoodie, but I'm beginning... That might be pouches, but that honestly looks like that might fit over his ears. That's a cute... If that is, that's an awesome design feature. Like, that is awesome how they did that. Like, they attach these little additional parts to his hoodie, so that whenever he pulls it up over his ears, it's covering his ears too. That's awesome, and it's cute. And now I want to see Mickey wearing that. Like, I really want to see Mickey wearing that. But again, Riku stabs his Soul Eater into the sand here, and again, look at the design for Mickey. Honestly, I love it. I do. It's not too cartoonish. I mean, it's not. It's still cartoonish. It's not too realistic. It looks like it should. I don't think that it looks weird or too unorthodox. I think it looks good for this, and I really hope that they leave it as is and they don't try to improve on the texture or the model, because I think it's just fine right here. The eyes do look good. You know, just the proportions for Mickey do look really good. Also, I love Mickey's outfit. It's kind of a combination of his outfit between Kingdom Hearts 2 and I think Birth by Sleep. You know, it's updated, it's different, but again, red shorts and the black zippered hoodie, short sleeve, which is cute. And again, I want to see Mickey wearing the hood. And what could be like a gray tank top or something, like a V-neck tank top underneath, and a nice little belt buckle, and I like that little shimmer that they added to that. But again, Riku puts his blade into the sand, and Mickey just looks at him with a curious look. Now, the only little nitpick that I have with this particular scene, I do actually have a little nitpick, is Mickey's face remains exactly the same whenever Riku sticks the blade in. Mickey does tilt his head, and you can hear Mickey make like a little bit of a questionable squeak, but his facial expression still remains the same. I think it would have been better if they had made him quirk a brow or something, you know, like made the black come down a bit over his eye to more show a questionable expression, because I do think that's a little weird there for Mickey to just maintain the same expression. And here Riku makes the mention that he can't use this Keyblade anymore. Might as well leave it here. And you see the Heartless Insignia. And again, this was formed from darkness. And I just noticed the gauntlet gloves that Riku's wearing. I like those. That is awesome. And again, Mickey looks good here. But again, I think a little bit more facial expression would be also good. Like, no offense, but I do think a little bit more facial expression would be a little good. I mean, I know Mickey is like the really cheerful type, but even in comics and such, you know, and other video games, Mickey shows more expression. Again, no, not dissing this at all. Just for what is kind of going on, I think Mickey's just smiling a little bit too much here. You know, I mean, should be showing a bit more difference in facial expression. But again, I do like the outfit, and I like the color combination, and I also like the little detail with the hemming along the neckline. I also like that. And Riku makes a mention about the other me needs it. And Mickey looks up as well. And here we actually see Mickey's mouth move, actually. Again, his facial expression overall still remains the same, but he's still confused. He's still wondering about that. So this is something Mickey doesn't know. But Riku does. And I'm wondering about this. Like, he means the other me. The other him. A theory, of course, is a heartless or a nobody. That's a theory. I'm just wondering, like, Kairi lost her heart, but her physical form still remained. She didn't transform into a heartless. But a nobody was created, which was Naminé. Sora sacrificed himself to free Kairi's heart, but he did transform into a heartless. His body transformed into a heartless. And Roxas was created. Okay. Sora became heartless. Kairi was able to bring him back from the darkness. But he still wasn't completely whole because his nobody wasn't there, as was Kairi. Xehanort, he willingly stepped into the darkness and became a heartless and a nobody. But he took on a physical heartless form. And a nobody was also created, which became Xehanort. So I'm wondering about Riku here. I don't remember any part in the game where Riku did do anything that would have created a heartless or a nobody. And I'm wondering about this scene here. What does he mean? Again, it could mean a heartless or a nobody. But I'm wondering about that. So, I guess won't know anything until this game, or then again, this game might not even detail that. It might just be a lead-up to Kingdom Hearts 4 in 2025. But again, I do like how Mickey does here. You know, like, this is, like, even though Mickey is supposed to be, like, one of the most bad A characters in the Kingdom Hearts universe, not even he knows about this. And so, this is really cool. This is interesting. And again, Mickey, go home to Minnie, would you? Go home to your wife before she kicks your butt, okay? Just go back home, okay? Please? Or at least bring her with you. I would definitely settle for that. Give her a Keyblade, get her a Keyblade, let her travel with you. Just come on, man. And so I'm also wondering what the premise for this is. Like, what is this leading up to? Riku leaves his Keyblade in the sand for the other him. Who and why would they need the Keyblade? The Keyblade can only be used by people who can use the light. If they're not pure of heart, they can't use the Keyblade. But this was created out of darkness. So does that mean that somebody who has darkness in their heart could use this? And if so, wouldn't that be a bad thing? And why is he comfortable with somebody using this who could have bad intentions? Unless he means Aqua. Because Aqua was trapped in the realm of darkness. But Aqua already has a Keyblade, so why would she need this? Unless this is her key to get out. I don't know. But, okay, again. Won't know until the game comes out, but, yeah. Mickey! Now I just want to see Minnie! I just want to see that now. Now, there were a couple of other things that I noticed that I kind of wanted to sort of talk about here that kind of came to mind. Now, this segment here with the Monsters, Inc. crew running along the scaffolding and Sora running and jumping down this platform and beginning to glide down, I'm wondering right now, like watching this the first time, it didn't occur to me, but I'm wondering now, how large is this world? And how will you be able to navigate a world of this size? You know, Kingdom Hearts was pretty easy. Like, the worlds weren't overly complicated. The only worlds that were kind of had any sort of complications or was a bit difficult to navigate: Deep Jungle, mostly the trees, Monstro was a pain in the butt, and Hollow Bastion with all the doorways and things like that. The things that you had, those little things that you had to use in order to gain access and go to other sections. But otherwise, for the most part, the worlds weren't overly complicated. They had a few or several sections, areas to go through. They're pretty easy to navigate. It wasn't really hard to. I mean, it wasn't. I mean, it was kind of hard to get lost in them because of their size. Kingdom Hearts 2 had larger worlds, but they weren't overly huge, and it was still pretty easy to navigate the worlds. Here, obviously, and with 358 over 2 days, Birth by Sleep, and even Dream Drop Distance, the worlds didn't seem overly large. I mean, it still seemed rather easy to navigate. The worlds did seem larger, as the games went on, but again, it weren't to the point that it was, you became lost. Here, however, I'm wondering about the size of the world, how large what we see here is, how large the world is, and how you'll be able to navigate. Now, something else I don't notice right here, we did see it before with we did see it before with a few of the other things, I believe, but what I don't see here is a map, and that was one of the things I really loved about Kingdom Hearts 2 was the map at the top of the screen. It would show you the layout of that one room or area that you were in. It would show you the red markers indicating where the entry and exits were. Here we see no map, and so I'm hoping, if there is not a map feature that you can turn on, I'm hoping that there will be a map that you can pause and bring up in the menu. That's what I'm hoping. If nothing else, you'll definitely have the strategy guide, hopefully. Please release a printed version of the strategy guide. Do not go full digital. That is crap. Release a full strategy guide, because I know there's people like me, we love to collect the strategy guides and flip through them whenever we're not playing through the game. But again, I'm wondering about the size of this world and about navigation. How you will navigate the world, because I mean, how you will get to these worlds whenever you leave them. Because you remember, in the first Kingdom Hearts, you had the Gummy Ship. In both Kingdom Hearts and Kingdom Hearts 2, you had the Gummy Ship. You could depart from the Gummy Ship and land on the save points, as well as the world entry and exit. Here, I'm wondering if it will be like that. If you'll be able to access a save point and depart from the world using the save point. We haven't seen the Gummy Ship. I honestly wish they'd bring the Gummy Ship back. I mean, I felt like the minority who really loved the Gummy Ship segments, but I did. I loved them. I thought they were really fun. And I really love being able to design my own Gummy Ship. I mean, in Kingdom Hearts 2 alone, I designed probably 10 of them. But again, I really wish they bring the Gummy Ship segments back, especially here for Kingdom Hearts 3, because I'd really love to see what they could do with that. How they would make it look. But that would be freaking cool. But again, I'm wondering, like, traversing this. Like, obviously, you're jumping off this platform and you have to go really far down. I'm wondering, how will you get back up there? Will you have to depart from the world and go to a save point? And then, start from somewhere close by to get back to this? Or is there a way to get back from below back up to the scaffolding, to this platform? I'm wondering how that's going to handle. I'm hoping that, like the other previous titles, that everything will be easily, you'll be able to access everything, and you won't have to, like, say, start over from one point to be able to go back to another area. I'm hoping that they don't do that. That it stays like with Kingdom Hearts, and everything is on a base level, and everything's pretty much on the same level, and you'll be able to access it easily. But again, I'm wondering how this right here is going to play out, this particular segment here, and if this is just a special segment, or if this is actually, I'm wondering how this is going to fit, actually going to work. And also, just now thinking with the Monsters Inc. world, most of the Kingdom Hearts titles had a boss themed in that world. You had in Wonderland, you had the Card Soldiers. Deep Jungle, you had Clayton. Kingdom Hearts, Olympus Coliseum, you had Cerberus, you had Hades. And so you had pretty much, Neverland, Captain Hook, Kingdom Hearts 2. You had Barbossa. You had the villain in Mulan, whose name escapes me. You had him. And you had Oogie Boogie in Kingdom Hearts. And then in Kingdom Hearts 2, got the boss in that world. But again, you had, and there was a villain, there was a bad guy here in the Monsters Inc. world. I forgot his name, but he was that purple lizard, slithery thing. I forgot his name. But I'm wondering if he is going to be a boss in this world. And keep in tune with the sort of world-themed bosses. I'm wondering if he is going to be a boss, or if it's just going to be enemies exclusive to this world. Heartless based. Same thing for Rapunzel here. I'm wondering if the witch is going to be a boss in this world that you'll be able to fight. Wondering how that's going to work. Because sorry, I just had this, I was picturing that witch, and suddenly I just had this image go through my mind of a sort of Gruntilda-like battle in Banjo-Kazooie. Like she's flying around on a broom, and you're at the top of the tower, and you have to shoot her down or something. You don't have to use Jinjos, but, And of course, again, with Ariel appears to be a summon that you can actually summon and use as an attack. And that was a thing in Kingdom Hearts and Kingdom Hearts 2. You had summon characters that you could summon. I'm wondering, besides Ariel here, and this is kind of what I'm thinking, is most of the summons that you could get in the game, you could not go to their respective world in that particular title. You could summon Bambi in Kingdom Hearts, you could summon Simba, but you never went to their worlds. Here, and in Kingdom Hearts 2, you could summon, I forgot who, no, you could summon. Well, no, you could summon Genie. You could summon Genie. But obviously, since Ariel, I'm wondering if you'll be able to go back to Atlantica in Kingdom Hearts 3, because Ariel is featured here as a summon. I'm wondering if you'll be able to go to her world. It won't be a musical like it was in Kingdom Hearts 2, but they could easily do something with Little Mermaid 2, Return to the Sea, and pick up with Ariel's daughter Melody. They could do something like that. But I'm wondering, what are the worlds you'll be able to go to here? Again, probably not. Probably not Atlantica. And since Tangled is also a part of this, I'm wondering if we're going to see something with Brave, or Frozen, or maybe something like that, maybe. It would be interesting if, say, you could fight some sort of snow-based monster or something in Frozen. That would be interesting. Plus, Olaf would be hilarious. Olaf would be a hilarious summon. Olaf would be hilarious as a summon character. And again, I know I showed this before, maybe a similar screenshot, but this particular segment in Toy Story, where you have to fight this thing, I have a feeling this is going to be a little frustrating for me. Not the battle itself, but the concept of jumping across these platforms and things, and I have kind of very poor hand-eye coordination, or rather, I have very poor brain-hand coordination. My brain tells me to do something, and my hands are like, nope, I'm not doing it, I'm going to fumble this. Like, the translation from my brain to my hands has a train wreck, and it only gets like half of the signal it's supposed to, and so it's like, I'm just going to do part of what the brain tells me to do. And so I have a feeling I'm going to fumble this a lot before I can actually beat this boss. So that'll be a little frustrating for me, just because I'm too stupid. And hitting me now with Ventus or Vanitas appearing here in the Monsters Inc. world, I'm also wondering now if he will be a boss that you'll have to fight. I know he won't be like a big boss that you'll have. I mean, he'll be a boss, but like it won't be one of the main final bosses. So he appears here, and I'm wondering if you'll have to fight him. And again, I imagine if you do, he'll disappear. You know, he'll be like, "I'll come back for you later," or "You haven't seen the last of me," or "I'm going to start a band called Daft Punk." Uh, you know, and then he disappears. Maybe goes on to sell 1 million albums. But again, um, I'm really wondering if you'll have to fight him in this world. Uh, how that will happen, or if maybe he's the one that's causing trouble in this world. I don't know. Again, won't really know that until we actually get to play the game, and hopefully I will be able to. What did I do? And again, I love that look at that Keyblade. I really do, and I just now noticed something. There's two marks on the Keyblade, which look like eyes, like irises and slits, on the top and on the end of the blade and on the hilt. And I saw a similar one to Riku's Keyblade. I saw a similar one on the Soul Eater, Riku's Keyblade. And I'm wondering if there's a connection to that. I'm wondering about that. I don't know, but they look similar. And so I'm very curious about that, if there's a connection between that. But again, coming 2018. And again, I have not the capabilities. Or rather, I don't have the system. Which kind of sucks. But again, this is really, really interesting. It really does look awesome. And I'm really, really looking forward to this. Again, it's really going to be interesting. But like I said, there's a lot of things. I mean, this is obviously. I love how they're doing the trailer. How they're doing the trailers. They're opening up. You know, they're teasing us with some things like, "Hey, here's a little piece of information." But you're not going to find out what it is until later. You know, I really think they're doing these trailers awesomely because they're not giving you too much information so that you can figure something out. They're setting up a lot of questions for you, and they're not showing more than they have to. They're just showing what they need to tease you and to whet your appetite and leave you wondering, what is going on? So, yeah, it really looks good, and again, I'm really, really excited for it. I'm really glad that Mickey seems to be going to, hopefully like Kingdom Hearts 2, he's going to have some good focus. He's not just going to be like in Kingdom Hearts, and the only time you see him is at the end of the game. I'm really hoping that Mickey will have more screen time, hopefully in Kingdom Hearts 3 than even in Kingdom Hearts 2. I'm hoping Minnie also has more screen time than in Kingdom Hearts 2, but that's probably not going to happen. That's just wishful thinking. But again, I have fan fiction for that. But again, I really am looking forward to this. And again, I need to get a PS4 and something to record the gameplay footage on my TV. Definitely. But again, this is definitely, there's a lot of things, and I know some of this is, you know, tied with, obviously it's tied with Dream Drop Distance, and but I'm also wondering, will this wrap everything up, or is there more? I don't know. You know, every single other Kingdom Hearts title usually had like a secret ending or a secret movie that you can unlock. And I'm wondering what's going to happen here. Will there be a secret movie that you can unlock? And will it set things up for Kingdom Hearts 4 or Kingdom Hearts A New Chapter? You know, something like that. Not really sure, but yeah, I'm really excited for this, honestly. And it's going to be really cool. It really is going to be awesome. And again, I'm just very curious as to what is going on with the story, you know, and if Ventus is there, then what's going to, I mean, what's going to happen with Aqua, you know? But again, we're looking forward to this, and again, if you know something that I could use to record gameplay footage off my TV, keep in mind that my TV does not go up to 720p, it only supports 720i. So, I mean, that's what it says. So, if you know something that would record that just fine, please let me know in the comments so I can get it, so I can work on maybe getting a PS4 and Kingdom Hearts 3. And so then maybe I can actually do a Let's Play, okay? But again, we're looking forward to this so far. I don't know if they'll release anything. They might release something more between now and whenever the game releases. Won't really know for sure. Just have to wait and see. But again, we're looking forward to this. And yeah. Kingdom Hearts 3 finally. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. But again, again, loving so far what it looks like, and I'm really looking forward to it. So again, thank you guys again for joining me. Hope you guys enjoyed, and hopefully I will see you guys in the next video that I do. Take care.